Yes, sir. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda.
Support.
All in favor, say
Just
yes.
a minute, Bob, I probably have an item or two under old and new business.
Okay.
Who moved it?
Mike did.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Review and approve minutes.
I would move the way approved minutes.
Support. Any questions on it? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Review and approve bills. Accounts payable dated February 8th for $210,641.88. EFT for $74,120.06 for a total of $284,761.84.
To pay the bills for February 8th.
Support the motion. Give us just a moment to
Sure.
look over them.
Alan had an overpayment.
Yeah, we charged them. full.
That was Litchfield, no, they just sent extra money,
Not a big one.
that Allen Township one?
Yeah, Allen
Yeah.
Township, the refund.
Oh, I was thinking of Litchfield,
Yeah,
yes, they overpaid on
billed
Bryan.
100%, so.
Alright.
I had two other townships pay over on their bill, so I had to do refund on those checks too. So they got extra money, it was like $50 or.
And Litchfield was dinky compared to Allen.
Mm-hmm.
We good? Been moved and second to pay the bills. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Approved. think so.
Yeah, we'll have it done.
Payroll dated February 1st for $142,006.28.
I move we pay the payroll dated February 1st for $142,006.28.
Support.
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Rolling things around.
I just turned it over.
No, I was gonna say,
Yep, yep, I just,
okay.
yep.
They have all been signed.
Treasurer's report.
Beginning cash and investment balance is $3,022,836.11. Total receipts, $1,038,810.72. Total in bills and payroll is $426,768.22. Bonds and escrow is $10,250, and CD reserve for 2 trucks is $637,452.86. Ending available fund balance is $2,987,175.75, and outstanding accounts payable is $3,331.46.
Any questions?
I have a question. I've never seen the state transportation number be that high.
I looked back in the last 5 years, usually in December, it's been 900.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think last December was what, 917 or something?
I think it was, yeah.
So,
Usually it's about 600 off throughout the year, 600 to 700,000. This time it was 900.
so when they reimburse us for the trucks that we use on the state highways, is that
That's
a
when I do
separate
the
payment?
state billing. So when I do the state billing, the time that got put on the labor, the equipment, it's in the state billing.
So that's not a part of the state
No.
transportation fund money, that's a separate payment that we get from them?
Yeah, because I bill every month.
I thought that was probably the case, but I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we stand as presented. Thank you. Public comment. Who wants to go first? Alan, you're on.
Alan Andrews, Reading Township. I just wanted to get a little refresher on the tree trimming, brush removal, the upcoming mowing season. Right now, when you drive around and you look, the brush, still is storm damaged brush laying alongside the road. And I just wondered, is there any plan to do anything with that, or is that?
Can you hear him, Bob?
Yes, as soon as we can get people out there, between grading gravel roads and plowing, and that's one of the items that they need to be out there doing is not just the storm damage stuff, but just general brush control and canopy work. That's one of the things we're working on with the foreman and Kevin to get scheduled in there.
So.
It's gonna be a slow process, I'll tell you though.
Okay, is there any thought of hiring it done? I think it's come up before, but I just wondered.
Yeah, that'll probably be a fairly quick, I shouldn't say quick, but one coming up here is a bid to see what we can get for tree work out there. Some of it is different, whether it's like I said, canopy work, felling trees, storm damage, they bid different capabilities and different prices for that, but that's what I intend to at least see what's out there, what's available, what the contractors are willing to bid.
Okay, driving over here today, I see consumers of energy out there, and they're just knocking the heck out of it right now.
Yeah, they got a little more money than we do. I think most of theirs is Ashland is taking care of their stuff, that's the contract they have.
Next. Yeah,
Yeah, Bob, as you, the board, I'm sure knows, this is the last year of our contract. So we'll be doing negotiations with the board this year. Hopefully we can get started soon, because there's a lot of contract cleanup that needs done. So I'm hoping we can all maybe get started early on that and get, get everything cleaned up so the wording's good for both sides and more understandable and doesn't conflict different paragraphs and such. And it was a couple years ago, we had you sat in on it, had a management employee kind of relations meeting. I think we need to do another one of them, like a round table where we discuss conflicts or disputes. Because I remember you sat in on it, it got kind of a little ugly at first, but in the end we all shook hands. I think you might remember
I
that.
kind of remember that,
It turned out to be a good meeting, I think. I think we could use more of them, try to work together more but yeah, we'd appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully we can get started with the contract negotiations here soon, and especially, like I said, Bob need to go through the contract page to page,
Right.
try to clean all that up. It's gonna take some time, but
I think you was kind of planning on Bob starting early, wasn't you?
I would like to, I'd like to get some of the language taken care of first, and
Yeah.
that'll help go a long way.
right. All right, thank you.
Mhm. Next.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, thank you. I had, once I complimented, Mr. Klein here, in the Somerset area, and I have enjoyed going down there a little bit more, just to try to see a little bit more of the areas was, Bankers, and, that goes all the way over to, the county line there. And, that's somewhat of a, sort of a bad deal that you can drive down, and want to know where that's gonna go. And, kind of listening to how you guys have said, per mile of getting, a tar bound done and so on. Camden has, been talked about a lot.
Mhm.
And so, has the decimal point been changed on that? It used to be roughly about a year, say 14 months ago, the comments is that it would cost us about $1 million per mile. Now it's 1.5 million per mile. Can we find out why it went up such a drastic amount? Another $500,000. And if so, can we not try to get more, as what this gentleman back here said? Can we not try to employ those locals, someone that's Sparks and, just the local folks that have the adequacy of trucks that we could, get in, clean out, and then you guys could get in there and get the work done. Other than that, I think is it Bob?
Yeah.
Griffiths? And so you had planned on going someplace, is that where you're at today? Was it Manistee or something like that? You were gonna be attending a whole week or something?
He's at a
That's
conference.
right.
He's at a conference.
He's at a conference, yeah. Is that what the one he's at then that I'm referring to? And so how long are you there for? And, I'm sorry, I'll finish that, sorry. How long are you there for? Does this get, through the actual pay done with what you're getting? How much does it cost us that you're up there for? And then if that's been, said and done, and I'm fine with it, I'm just saying, people wanna, react to numbers. And, and the curiosity is we're using the video here. And, couldn't that action been taking place if you had to be at this meeting as well? Being that you could, have the same visual at that meeting or conference that you're at. So thank you for listening.
All right, thank you. Next. Anybody else? No? No? All right.
I've got a quick thing here, I just had
Okay.
A alert pop up on my screen that's saying that the free Zoom meeting is gonna end in 10 minutes. So apparently they've got a time limit on how long a Zoom meeting can be, so if I need to, I guess I can call back into Katie's phone or something, I can at least be on the phone.
Do you wanna do the manager's comments right now?
I can. Hopefully I get to it. So like I said a little bit earlier, most of the things I wanna talk about are already on the agenda is under the new business. I've got just a couple of quick updates, I guess, to let you know, we did get contacted by Eagle, in regards to Hog Creek and Elm Road bridges. Basically all that contact was, hey, we got the request from the state representatives and we'll get back to you. So we still have no like exact time of when they'll tell us, you know, what do we put in at Hog Creek, what do we put in at Elm. But they wanted to let us know that they got the notification from the state representatives and they're working on it.
Did you tell them to speed it up?
Yeah, that was fun. Let's see. Everything else is on the.
Do you wanna go over that Stone Co?
The Stone Co, oh, you mean for
For the
one that's
tunnel?
on agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, promotion over.
Okay, yeah, I'll hit that stuff in just a second. We do have a meeting coming up on the 22nd, that is for the water issue at the airport area. I think Charlie's gonna try to be there, the drain commission, the city of Hillsdale, us, and the residents. I guess they're wanting to meet to make sure the new expansion that's planned for the airport doesn't cause the same issues as the original. And so I think everybody's getting together to talk about that. The road commission really doesn't, what I have to say, don't have a dog in the fight on this one. We just want to make sure we don't get dug into it because it's not a road issue. It's more of a drainage and stuff like that. But we're going to try to be there just to make sure everybody's heard and everybody, you know, knows where it needs to go.
Is that meeting in the afternoon on the 22nd?
It's at 1:30 at the resident site there. I don't have the exact address. I got it down.
No, it's at, Board of Commissioners Conference Room.
Board of Commissioners conference room now.
Oh, is that what you're, okay, I thought we were gonna meet on site there, but, okay. So that's good.
I just wanted to make sure of the time because we have a meeting that morning on the 22nd.
Yeah, it's 1:30. That was like planned after.
Okay, perfect.
And other than that, we're still working on some estimates to get for what it's gonna take to remove the seasonal status from, the road down there in Woodbridge. Grass too, that's gonna take a little bit of engineering work to figure out what that's gonna be. And then we're also trying to get a firm estimate for the signage for the Amish buggy signs. And so we can get that to them and they can let us know how many they want, where they want. Let's see, other than that, we go back to the items on the new business. So the Stone Coat permit, that's really, we don't need any kind of action. That's just for you guys to know that they've submitted a permit to put a tunnel underneath Moiseville Road, kind of like the original request for Bivens Road. And so it looks like they're trying to start the planning for that. I don't know how long in the future that's gonna be, but they wanna do I think Kathy, when we talked to them on that first meeting, they said they were eventually gonna want to do that. This is just them submitting the permit. Before we approve any permit for that, we wanna, scrutinize that whole thing, make sure where we need to go with that. But that's not a surprise. It's nothing that needs to be action right now. I just want to let you guys know that they're starting that process to do that.
So this permit won't be approved until we've delved into it and decided it's the right, they're doing things the way we want them done.
Yes, yes.
So my only question is,
Don't physically sign that permit until I got basically from the board that that's the area you wanna go to. I mean, or that's the route you wanna go. Which, to be honest with you, it's probably gonna be fairly cut and dry, other than we'll have to figure out when and how and the least, disruption to the motoring public, because we're gonna have to close down Lloydsville Road for a little bit to be able to do that. Or to allow them to do that. But yes, I'm not gonna go through the approval steps of the permit until we're all on the same page.
so in the permit, it says the road would only be closed 10 days. Does that seem reasonable?
If they're bringing in a concrete box culvert, yes, with the equipment they have and that kind of thing, which is that's what it would take for a conveyor. It's doable.
Okay. The only observation I would make is I'm surprised this was coming through this quickly. I thought they weren't gonna expand over that way until they were done across Bivens Road.
Well, that was kind of my question on that too, and I haven't talked to Junko on that yet.
Okay, so you're gonna look into that and keep us updated?
Yeah, I just thought it was farther out like you,
Yeah,
from that original conversation we had.
right, okay, thank you.
Let's see, the next one, I'll just cut through the east one in case we get cut off here. The floor scrubber, sales to the park, they've had that for who knows how long. It's still on our books as a piece of equipment, and I would like to go ahead and try to sell that to them for a very minimal cost and transfer it over their bucks and let it be theirs, because it does nothing but it's sitting on our books right now.
So what's that minimal cost you have in mind?
It could be $1 for, I mean,
Okay,
just something to show that we're transferring it from our ownership to their ownership, and at that point, they've been maintaining it, and they've had it for however many years now anyway.
A long time.
So, it should stay on our books, and that way it's all theirs, they can do with what they need.
okay.
Do we need a motion on that?
I would think so.
So I would move that we sell the floor scrubber to the park commission for $1.
Second.
Any more discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Okay, the next one is just a review and for your signatures on the cost share policy with this year's effective date. I think the top of that policy shows the original date, and this is the review. Nothing's changed. It's the same exact one that we had last year. And so if you agree with that and want to go ahead and make a motion to continue that cost share policy through 2024.
So I moved to, we,
That's one way of shutting him up.
I'm gonna get them on here.
revised cost share policy for 2024.
Support.
Any more discussion on
Maybe she needs to be taking minutes, I guess.
Yeah, but I gotta.
Yeah. Well, we were moving ahead, I'm thinking maybe we should move ahead, just check, cause she needs to take minutes.
Just table.
So we need to sign one of these?
it? Yeah, just one.
Yes, do you
Oh,
wanna
we need
do
to sign.
off my cell phone, or do you wanna do it off the phone in the boardroom? Well, you just call Karen and she would park it, and then I would answer it here. Alright. I don't think my phone would be loud enough. So you can call here, and then I'll get them on here.
We went and signed it.
Yeah, we go ahead with this one.
We only need one copy
We have a
signed.
motion.
We have a motion to support, but we haven't voted yet.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Alright, and Mr.
Mark,
I made the motion, Kathy supported.
no, actually,
Mike-
Mike supported
Mike
it.
supported.
He said sign, which I assume that was us.
No, that's not,
Yes.
that's the one we'll circulate.
And I think all of us would like to get a copy of that sometime.
Yes, once, I'll make copies for everybody. Karen down real quick too, so she's got somebody to. the answer.
It's bad when you're waiting for a phone to ring.
How about coffee then, Bob?
I don't want it. Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Yep, talk again.
Alright, so I'm not sure if it's cut off, but, we're talking about the cost share policy, just getting that reviewed and signed for 2024.
Okay, we got that done.
Alright, then, let's see, two things there are probably more of Katie, so I'm gonna go back to the salary scale.
Okay.
This decided asked the board a couple meetings ago. I gave you the information on changing the administrative supervisory personnel over to salary. That would be 5 people. And go off of that page that I gave you a couple meetings ago. And wanted if anybody's got questions or if you'd like to approve that at this time.
Anybody got any questions? Nothing? Kathy? Yeah, we need a motion.
I move that we approve the salary scale for the administrative and foreman's.
Or,
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed, same.
Aye.
Okay, Bob, next.
Alright, the next two are the healthcare savings plan discussion and the Raymond Robinson contract. Katie, do you wanna go over those two, or?
Yeah. The Raymond Robinson, it was just the engagement letter to start the audit. I just needed a signature from the chair to submit that. And then the MERS Healthcare Savings Program, I spoke to management and the non-management part. The management agreed to do 1% out of their each pay for this program. Non-management, I had more no's than yeses, so they're opting out. So I just need a motion to move forward with MERS to keep moving forward. They'll do a resolution once they know you guys okayed it.
They'll do the resolution
Yes.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll do all the paperwork and.
Okay. We can use the motion.
I would so move.
Support.
Any more discussion on that? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Move back to old business. You got anything else new, Bob?
No, other than, I'm scheduling a meeting with Corrigan, which is the Brock contractor, for probably a couple weeks down the road. They're gonna come meet with us they've already offered to extend their bid price for the same as what they did last year, but, myself and Kevin, we're gonna meet with them and go a couple things that we just wanted to make sure gets a little more straightened out for this year.
Okay.
And after that meeting, then I'll bring that back to the board.
Sounds good.
Other than that, that's all I got, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go back to old business. Gary, did you have anything on old business?
How are we doing, on the bridges on Territorial Road?
They're actually going pretty good. The power lines have been moved. They've been working on the west bridge all this time anyway. I believe they're actually getting ready to set the deck on the west bridge. So they're well ahead of schedule, and they're working on the east bridge also at this time. And so, other than there's kind of the thing on the easement for the property owner that cuts across the Boy Scouts, which have been talking with the MDOT rep and the Smith rep, here at the conference. They're confident that'll work out here shortly and it won't be a big to-do. We just have to make sure we're covering everything. But the way it sounds is their original completion date of June, they're well ahead of that, so hopefully
That'd be great.
the completion will be ahead of that too.
Sounds good.
Anybody else got any old business? How about new business? Any new business?
The only thing under new business that I guess I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but Bankers Road from M49 west to the county line has come apart in the last 10 days or 2 weeks. And
Wow.
I mean, we've had cold patching crews out there. I had a visit yesterday morning with Kevin on the phone, and I said, what's the plan for that? I said, was it on our plans to do, it's a primary road, to do something there in 2024? And said, well, he said, they were looking at that, and clearly, you know, that road gets a tremendous amount of use. If we don't do something major there, it's only gonna get worse, go through another winter. So, I just wanna make all of you aware of that.
Just real quick on that, Gary, no, it wasn't planned to have anything done this year, but when everything blew apart like that, there's actually a couple roads that are like that. We are gonna have to reevaluate and do some paver patching as a minimum to fix up everything that we can on there.
Can you give us what other roads you're looking at then that has come apart that?
Ooh, I don't have the list here with me, but there's a couple of them that are basically all that same area, that we've sent our crews out repeatedly here in the last 2 weeks with this, change in the weather to do all this patching. They're going through a lot of patch to try to just heal in what they can. So basically we'll have to take that list of everything we've been patching here and then try to add that into the paper patch list.
Okay.
Any other new business? Nothing? Public comment, again? Anybody? Oh, now we got hands. Doug.
On the audit, remember that the County Board of Commissioners shall confirm the public accountant. So
They
if
did
you
that.
could send me for this year, you did it
When
for
they
last
approved
year.
it for last year, it was a bid for 3 years,
Okay, thank you.
so we did, yeah.
And then the other is that the meeting with Lisa Martin is Friday, the 23rd at 1:30. She had to switch it off Thursday for some.
Did you hear that, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, it's the 23rd at 1:30.
Yes,
Okay.
that's all.
Next, Bob.
Yeah, I heard you mention, and I'm not familiar with, is there, new administration dollars that you guys just, made an approval of? Could you kind of expound a little bit what that is, or titles for administration, new money or raise, whatever? The other is, we've looked at, a couple of roads, I'm not too familiar with Lenawee, but they have taken the top off of and, cleared their way as far as making it the surface of ground, I would say the top would make it more durable. Can you get away with a certain short time of applying, the gravel and something until we can have actually a full job done on, and see if we can't avoid a little bit of time and getting, the blacktop, being done. Anyway, that's just my
Okay, thank you. Alan?
Just to mention, when the state did the culvert at Arkansas Road, a lot of traffic was diverted, even though the detour went east, a lot of traffic went down Banker and South Allen. Those two roads seen a big increase in traffic.
Okay, good to know. Anybody else? Yes.
I just wanted to update the board on, I don't know if they've had any comment on the purchase of the new trucks that they purchased. I've had the pleasure. And, I'm not one to complain about getting a new truck, don't get me wrong. But these trucks were not built for the application we're using them for. You cannot use the box, the vibrator in the box, and the salter at the same time. The blades, the wing blade is hydraulic compared to a floating blade like the old trucks, so you cannot run it only on blacktop. You cannot run it on the shoulder unless you want to plow like a moldboard plow. You have no control. You can lift it up and leave snow, but as the terrain moves, you're gonna peel dirt and throw sod, and when you lift the box, the salter stops. When you hit the vibrator, the salter stops. Our old trucks and all the trucks we've ever had were live power, ran off the crankshaft. These are PTO, which runs off the transmission. Obviously, there's not enough hydraulics to run everything. The old trucks, you scrape your lane on a state road, you apply material in the driving lane. This drops it on the center line. You're scraping, when you turn and come back the other way, you're scraping the material you put down back off. You stop for a stop sign, you gotta go 50 feet before the salter will work again, so you get no material in the intersection where you need it, where people are stopping and starting. Same with going around the corner when you slow down. You have to get your speed back up before material will come off the salter. Now, I realize we're short on trucks and this, but I don't know if you can lease these trucks and turn them back in, but they're not gonna work for our application. I know that was a lot of money, but you would have thought they would have asked somebody that had 15, 20, 30 years experience to go inspect the trucks before someone made a purchase like that by looking at a picture. That's just my opinion.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I had a guy make a comment to me. He was a little perturbed about it, and it was in reference to guys telling their foremans or whatever about maybe a bad spot in the road or a high berm or this, that, and the other. And he wanted me to, approach this at the board meeting because he made the comment that there's bad spots in his area he's been talking about for 5 years. Brings them up every year. Nothing gets done about them. He just wanted you guys to be aware of that. It's not that he's not telling them. He's not doing nothing about it. Okay. And I had a prime example of over on Addison Road. There was a gentleman that approached me, a resident over there, about a tree last spring? Last spring or the spring before that. There's a tree that was dead, it was rotten. He was really concerned about that tree falling on the road and getting somebody hurt. So I made note of it, and I let the foreman know, hey, you would go look at this tree, this guy stopped me, I was worried about it falling on the road, it's dead, it's rotten. Well, nothing got done about it. And the very next storm we had, that tree fell on the road.
Okay, next. Yeah.
Just wanted to touch base on the, I guess, tension between the non-management and the management. We're not getting along. There's no camaraderie. The morale's down on our side because there's no working together. We've talked to you guys about having meetings with our side, and you guys agreed to it. I feel like that needs to be done because you guys only get one side, or you only get one side of the story. As board members, I feel that you guys are voted in there by the public of Hillsdale County, that you guys should be heard, or we should be heard, not just, I guess, seen. We get heard by management, but nothing gets done. It gets brushed. To where if we can come to you guys, or you guys care enough to listen to us, maybe we can have a better relationship between employees and management.
Thank you. Anybody else?
May I just add another, just be brief, I'm sorry. I have a couple that's down here, and they are zoologists, kind of covering where the eagle, falls into play about swamps and whatnot. And I'm gonna try to bring them in, see if we can't get them to see where, the spray was what I was against, coming back.
Right.
So I was asked to get, a little notification, again, the product of the spray. And I'm hoping that our brush hogs are gonna be the only thing that we can, satisfy, some of the residents with, cause I really, I'm adamant about not using sprays. And so they found that the spray being used kills off a great deal of the wildlife in the very beginning of the spring, and they wanna look at a 2-month delay before any sprays, so that they can mature, at least the wildlife that, to get some growth and they will move out. It's just an interest. I'd like to bring them in, at the next meeting,
Okay.
see what happens.
Thank you. Anybody else? Here.
Bob, I thought of something that I just wanna report on. I went to the Southeast Council meeting on January the 29th. That was held in Marshall. And one of the items that came up that day that I think that many of our people would be interested in knowing is, you recall that there was that bad fire on the wooden bridge on Beecher Road just into Lenawee County last fall. The estimated cost to replace that thing is well over $2 million, and Lenawee County right now they don't have a time set, to replace it, because obviously this bridge wasn't that old. They had no plans to replace it this quickly. The guy that set the fire and got away, he's only got $500,000 worth of liability coverage. So, just want everybody to know that, at least for the foreseeable future, nobody knows when that bridge is gonna get replaced. So if that's your usual route to go to Adrian, you're gonna have to find a different route. I have a feeling it may not get done for at least a year or more.
I know they don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Anything else? Nothing? No? No.
I move we adjourn.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.